Hello, my friends. Jill here, and welcome to our weekly Wednesday Q&A session in my Empowered Fitness community for women over 40 looking to get energized, confident, and strong. Today is January 8th. So today is our second Wednesday of the year. So I want you to think to yourself, have you gotten started on your goals, or are you starting to waste the weeks? We only have 52 weeks in a year, and so everyone counts. And so I hope that you are doing something in your fitness and nutrition. I hope you didn't get sick. If you've been with me for the last several months, I've been emphasizing getting your habits in order so that you wouldn't get sick. So that meant being really consistent with good nutrition, building up your immune system, getting good sleep, staying relaxed, eating, exercising, all the things to make sure that you were healthy through the holidays and not binging on sugars, which would absolutely leave you more susceptible to catching things. So if you are sick, you're who I was talking about. I'm sorry. But let's get you going, okay? And sometimes we get in contact with icky sick people and they just make us sick, which isn't fair. So anyways, every Wednesday, if you're new here, welcome. Hi, Doris. If you're here for the first time, this is our weekly live opportunity for you to get to know me, for me to answer your questions on fitness, nutrition, weight loss, hormones, anything that you want. And so you can ask me questions here in the comments if you'd like, and I will absolutely answer them either during or at the end, and I'll comment back to you. Otherwise, I'm going to be answering a lot of questions. We had a lot of questions that came in from new members to the group, and I'm going to go through those things. We'll talk a little bit about what everybody's struggling with right now, what's holding them back from getting results, and I'm excited. So I'm just going to dive in, okay? Hi, Stephanie. Good to see you on too. So when I asked, when y'all came into this group and I asked, what's holding you back from getting results in your health and fitness? I'm going to read some of those answers that others gave so that you know if you've kind of been dealing with the same things. And if we see some common themes, then I'll go over those and tell you where to start, okay? So Jill J. Says finding a meal plan that works with her gastroparesis is a struggle for her. So I've actually worked with clients who have gastroparesis. It's tough because there's a long list of foods that are restricted, but that doesn't mean that you can't eat. And then it's also sometimes we struggle for eating too much at a time. So that might be something that requires some custom planning, and especially some pre-planning, right? So the more restriction you have with your diet, if there's special things, then the more we need to really be prepared. Something that comes to mind too, one of my clients, Blythe, has type 1 diabetes. And so we have to be really careful with our planning for her blood sugar to make sure it's not going too low, too high. And so we do things a little bit differently than others do. And so these are definitely times when it's good to have a call. It's good to have a coach. It's good to have somebody who is working with you to make sure that you're doing the right thing that will help both what you're, dealing with in terms of disease or, injury, anything like that, but also, moving you forward in the right direction and doing something. And Jill asked, how much cardio do I need? So cardio, I want to stress this. I say this a lot. Cardio means heart, right? Cardio refers to the heart. And so what I want you to always think of is cardio as heart health. So it's good for us to get our heart rate up. It's good for us to test it and to, get a really strong heart. But it doesn't mean that you need to be doing like vigorous cardio exercise every day, or in the sense that you might think about it, like when you go to a gym and you think about the machines that you see, the ellipticals, the bikes, the treadmills. We can get our heart rate up lifting heavy weights as well, right? We can get our heart rate up with a nice brisk walk outside, with a hike, with playing sports that we enjoy. So I want to really emphasize, and hi Felicia, hi Patty, that cardio is good for heart health. cardio is not going to necessarily relate to if I do more of it, I'm going to lose more weight. Doesn't work that way. And I'll tell you, I am a prime example. Back in October, I was at my college reunion with my two best friends. One lives in Texas and one lives in Alaska. And my friend in Alaska said to me, because I was like up at the butt crack of dawn every single day doing my exercises in the tiny little cottage that we had rented through Airbnb. And I was like two hours sitting there waiting for my friends to wake up, and I had already done my workouts. And so one of my friends came in and was like, Jill, I think you would really like this challenge. They have this thing called Race Across Alaska, and it goes from the winter solstice through the last day of winter, so it's 3 months, and you get to choose your distance that you cover during the winter. And so I look at this thing, I was like, oh, that is a challenge, because I'm not usually one to do a lot of cardio. And I said, maybe it'll be good for me. Give me a reason to do the cardio and something to push me to do the cardio. Well, so I chose the Iditarod distance, which is 1,150 miles, which means I've been doing between 12 and 25 miles a day on my spin bike. And as we traveled for, the holidays, I was going to the gyms. I was at the gyms in every hotel on our drive home. And it's really pushed me. And today I actually decided, because I want to be done with this cardio stuff, that I'm going to push to be done with my 1,150 miles by my birthday, which is March 2nd, so that I can get back to what I love, and that's the weightlifting. But I will tell you, over the holidays, I gained about 7 pounds. And it was doing like 20 miles of cardio per day. The cardio made me hungry. And when I get hungry, like really ravenous, it's like I'm drunk. It's like everything goes out the window and I want to eat what I want to eat. And my body wanted carbs. And so I was doing so much activity that my body required more. And there just happened to be a lot more junk food around. And so, while I just lost 4 pounds already since Monday on my Kickstart cleanse, and I'll be right back to where I want to be now that my nutrition is regulated, I'm back on a plan, I'm back home. I would never say that a ton more cardio is going to definitely mean you're going to lose more weight. So that'll be based on what our plan is for you, Jill. Okay. Gail wants to know, how do I get Zoom before we have a call? I need help with it, please. Okay, maybe not the right place to be asking, but Gail, if we didn't have a call, I don't think we had a call, then I will help you with Zoom. So I will send you a Zoom link. If you sign up for a call with me, which I did include the link, everybody gets a free call with me, okay? So this is called a game plan call. It's an opportunity for you and I to get to know each other. It's a very low pressure call. We just want to see if we're a good fit to work with each other, to see if I can answer a lot of your questions and figure out what's going on with you right off the bat. Because it's really hard for me to say, hey, I have the perfect plan for you if I don't know anything about you. So I don't like to have people work with me before I have a clue as to if I can help you. And I want to make sure that you feel comfortable with me, I feel comfortable with you, and we have the right solutions. I also don't offer everybody the same program, because some people don't need a ton of coaching and some people need more coaching. And some people have different, amounts that they want to spend. So it's a really good idea for us to have a call. And so I've included the link here to my calendar. You can choose any time that works for you. They tend to fill up quickly in January. And then I will send you instructions on how to download the Zoom app. I love to do our calls via Zoom, because that way we can see each other. We can talk like real human beings and have our great back and forth and really get a feeling as to whether we would be a good fit for one another. And I also do a lot of my coaching via Zoom. So I want to make sure that you know how to get on there. Okay. Let's see, Sarah and Maria both say that motivation has been holding them back. So if you are not in the place where you want to be, then that is going to be a big motivator for you. If you don't have a plan and the knowledge and the confidence that you're doing the right thing, then getting that is going to be a major motivator for you. And then having literally the what do I need to do today planned out for you. So your nutrition, your fitness, having it, scheduled out, that's going to really help you with motivation as well. Another thing I want to direct you to, which is in the guide section of our group here is my fitness audit. Now, I originally called it a year-end fitness audit, but now I call this my quarterly fitness audit, because this is going to be a really great starting point for a lot of you. So you can find this again in the guides. It's a whole exercise. You download this and print it, or you can just write the titles in a notebook too. And you watch the videos and you answer the questions, and it really helps you figure out, where you're at with your fitness, your nutrition, your time management, your routines, your accountability, and your mindset, motivation, and goals. And once you start to identify what you want, what's missing, what you need to do, your next action steps, maybe have a call with me, bring this with you, or send it to me ahead of time, then we can really streamline it to your goals. And especially if you have a tool to get started that's going to be super successful, right? So I just told you I lost 4 pounds in the first 2 days of my Kickstart cleanse. That's making me feel very motivated to repeat what I did on Monday and Tuesday today. It's very exciting. So these are a few things that will help you get motivation. I'm going to actually be doing a presentation on motivation for my clients real soon. And I kind of outlined it. Got to just finish creating the presentation, and maybe I'll have that available to everybody. I might do it for my clients, and if they enjoy it, then maybe I'll do it for everybody. What was it on? It was on motivation, focus, and confidence. So what do you think? Does that sound cool? Something you'd want to be a part of? Okay, Maria asks me, how long does it take to get toned? So it's different for everybody. The funny thing is that you could be super toned, but you could have a big fat layer over the muscle. So you could have muscle, but if you have fat over it, you may not see it as much. But I would say that my clients do see change. They see change within the first 3 to 4 weeks of their journey. And that is for a few reasons. Number one, they're either doing my 10-minute tone up workouts and that program to start, or they're starting with my Fit and Fast program, which 10-minute tone up is 3 weeks, Fit and Fast is 4 weeks. Fit and Fast is 20-minute workouts. 10-minute tone up is either 10, 20, or 30-minute workouts. Depends on your schedule. Now, the reason why they're getting results is that, number one, I'm pairing nutrition with that, right? So they're seeing the fat reduction. They're shredding some fat while they build the muscle. And everything I do in all of my fitness programs is progressive. And you're consistent, right? So if you're following the program, you know exactly what the workouts are you have to do each day. I'm pushing you each day, each week to progress, to get better, to build, to push to the next level. If you are used to going to gym classes where you're using the same weights every single week and you're doing, either varied or the same exercises, or you go to the gym and you get on the machines and you set everything to the same weight and you do the same number of reps every week, you're not going to see the change. Change is tough. Number one, you got to be eating enough food to affect change. And number two, you have to be pushing your muscles enough so that they tear and grow back stronger. Okay. So, in order to see definition, I think 3 to 4 weeks if you're using the right approach and the right technique, and consistency has to be there. Okay. If you want to get started on one of those programs, again, schedule a call with me and we can figure out if it's something that you can do on your own, because you don't really need coaching. You just need access to the tools. Or if you want to have a nice coaching experience with me meeting with you and us doing it together, and me really making sure that you know everything you're doing, why you're doing it, and have all the extra bells and whistles in your program. Okay. Cynthia says that work and taking care of her father is really holding her back. And I think this is an interesting age that a lot of us are at too. My parents aren't quite there. They're very fit. They're very healthy. They focus a lot on their health and fitness. So I don't have to take care of them at all. But we have a lot of people at this age, they call it the sandwich age, where you're taking care of your children, you're also taking care of your parents. And that really takes a lot out of you, right? And some people they were taking care of their kids and now they're taking care of their parents. On top of that, many of us have advanced in our careers. We have houses and cars and college funds and all kinds of things to be worried about. We maybe travel more and have a lot more to do. And so there is a lot to do. The problem is, if you are somebody, and I've had so many people tell me this, like, I can't talk to you now because I have to take care of my parent and it's all consuming and I have no time for anything else in my life. And hi, Nicole. And the problem with that is if in the 24 hours of the day, you're taking 0 minutes for yourself, for your well-being, for your self-care, for your brain, for your body, that's a big problem. And that is going to wreak havoc over time. And then you are going to get sick and you won't be able to be around your elderly parents, or you won't be able to go to work. And so we have got to find, and it doesn't take time. It doesn't take that much time. I told you, 10-minute tone up. Anybody can do that. That time should never be an issue. And when you're more planned and prepared in your nutrition, then you're not spending much time. Literally, I got back from the dentist, had 1 minute before this live, and took my dressing out of the refrigerator so that the oils kind of uncongeal themselves, right? Otherwise, my lunch is prepared. It's all done. I did it on Sunday. It's just waiting for me to pour some dressing in and eat it, right? And so if we're prepared, then we'll be fine. Let's see what else Cynthia says. She says she wants to get toned and feel healthier. Obviously, if we're using time, which it sounds like with work and taking care of your parent as an excuse, and yes, I'm going to say it's an excuse, then you're not going to get there. If you get in touch with me ASAP and we get you on the 10-minute tone up, and we get you with the 10-minute tone up, maybe we get you my fat shedding meal plan, it's going to be so easy. It's just going to be like, oh my God, why didn't I start this sooner? But you're going to be kicking yourself if you're in the same place in 3 months, right? Because you didn't start something. So that would be without even having a conversation. But from this little information, I think that this is going to be massive for Cynthia. And it's going to also be a good stress reliever when she's taking care of herself too, okay? Karen wants to see results. That's her goal. And she says, how do I get toned and get rid of cellulite? So cellulite, I do think part of it is a genetic thing. I think there are thin people who have cellulite too, but most of all, if we can have less fat in our body and more muscle, I do think that does help cellulite. We want to have that nice, kind of like building muscle will fill out the skin, but also, I don't know if you, Karen, do any foam rolling, but it's kind of like if we have this, like, one of those things that you squeeze and the little bubbly stuff comes out of the netting, like cellulite is kind of like that. And it's kind of like if you're doing some foam rolling and you're smoothing it out, I have read up on this in the past that foam rolling could possibly help, but I think more so it's building muscle and shedding fat, which the more muscle you build, the quicker the fat will shed. And then also having a really solid meal plan that supports those goals as well. And then we want to bring that fat, the fat percentage in our body down. Welcome, Becky. It's good to have you on. Okay. Sherry says motivation and menopause is holding her back. And she wants to know how to manage menopausal weight gain. So I do have a special program for menopausal weight gain. It's called the Menopausal Metabolism Reboot, but really all of my programs have been built for women going through hormonal changes. My coaching is geared in that direction. My certification is geared towards advanced metabolism and female hormones. And so I think some of the same things that help you with that menopause, the symptoms, the weight gain are going to be the same things that help you with your motivation. Number one is having an amazing community of people who feel your pain and are doing a lot of the same things and can share with you what's helping, what's working. For us, we want to make sure that we are having a great balance of building muscle that might be declining or is declining with age, with loss of estrogen. We need to be really honed in on doing the right things that will help us with weight management. So increasing your muscle mass in your body, your lean muscle mass, by strength training, being very careful with your carbs and your calories. So not eliminating carbs and calories, but having the right amount that will support your muscle gain and support your day, your daily nutritional needs and your organs needs, and finding time in the day for stress management, recovery time, movement, general movement, focusing on good, healthy eating, all these things, and eliminating things that will really exacerbate your issues. So there's certain trigger foods, trigger alcohol. Alcohol is a trigger. Lack of sleep is going to be a trigger as well. And so all these things can either be done with me in a do-it-yourself style menopausal metabolism reboot, or with me personally coaching you through it. And so what I recommend is to schedule a call, Sherry, and let's go over it. Let's figure out if this is a good step for you and how much coaching that you feel you need. Hi, Corinne, welcome. Okay, let's move on to Kim. Kim wants to lose weight, and she says, why do I have a bigger belly? So this is something that you'll see once our hormones start to change and our estrogen and progesterone are decreasing. We have a more of a sensitivity to a hormone called cortisol, which can be released in excess. At times, cortisol helps us, but when it's released in excess, and it's generally a product of stress, and it doesn't mean like just mental stress, like I feel stressed out in my brain, but environmental stress, mental stress, food stress, right? Too much of this, not enough of that, too much exercise, not enough movement. There's many things that can cause excess. Cortisol, a big one, is going to be blood sugar regulation. So caffeine and sugar intake as well. So that can be the reason why when cortisol is in excess in our body, then that tells our body to store belly fat. And so that's what happens too when we have a decrease of estrogen as we age and our reproductive organs no longer need the estrogen. Then we do see an increase, that fat starts to gather in our belly, in our thighs, in our butt, and generally like from here down. And so there's still things we can do. There's no reason we can't reverse that belly weight gain with, number one, having a really strong core that pulls in, right? As opposed to like sitting there, I look like I have a big belly if I just let it out. But if I have a strong core and my abs kind of pull in, then people think I'm lighter. I saw a friend yesterday who I hadn't seen in a while. He's like, wow, you're really skinny down. I was like, actually, I'm probably towards my higher end of the weight spectrum. He's like, well, you look amazing. And I was like, all right, well, maybe I just got a lot more muscle on my body. I'm standing tall and proud, right? And another thing we can do is we can be very careful, like I said before, with our carb intake, with our calorie intake, having just the right amount, and adding more muscle to our body will increase that base, we call it basal metabolic rate, BMR, you might have heard that before. And that's just your body's baseline of what your metabolism, like how you take in energy and expend energy, and and that is going to be higher and better and more flexible if you have a handle on your nutrition and if you've built more muscle in your body. So the reason for it is the excess cortisol. What you can do is work on your posture, your stomach muscles, your nutrition, your fitness, and also stress management, okay? Janice has a few things here. So what's holding her back was surgery after breast cancer. Now she has a doctor's release and is ready to get back in shape. Yes, Janice, let's take on the world. She would like a 15-minute fitness routine. So that's great. A great way for Janice to start and see if she's interested in my virtual style of workouts. They're all pre-recorded. Is a challenge I call the Triple Threat Challenge. It's 3 workouts for arms, abs, and glutes. You can find it at jillortizfitness.com right on the front page. And they're 15-minute workouts. And it's just a great way to see, like, how do I like Jill's style of teaching? Other than that, I think doing the 10-minute tone up, which it's funny, we sometimes call it, like, I'll say with my clients, so you want to do the 20-minute, 10-minute tone up? It's basically 2 10-minute workouts per day. That would be great. Or the Fit and Fast is also 20 minutes per day. So it sounds like those would be really great. Or you could do the 10-minute tone up with Jill's Killer Abs, which is 7 to 8 minutes a day. And that would put you at 17 to 18 minutes. So those would all be really great. If anybody's interested, just, book a call with me or get in touch and say, hey, I'm ready for some exercise stuff. Janice wants to know, why is it so damn hard to tone and lose pounds and inches? Chemo put her into menopause at 49. Now after another surgery at age 74, she's ready to commit to a workout routine. Awesome. Well, my dad is 74. He's turning 75 next month, and my mom's 75 already, and they do weightlifting almost daily. They also play a lot of tennis, pickleball, bocce ball, and they ride their bikes and all kinds of fun stuff and go for walks. But they know that the key is strength training, right? As we age especially, and, start as early as you can. I'm sure a lot of you wish you started the strength training early on, which I did really in high school and college. Got really, into strength training. But what it's going to do is it's going to prolong your life. It's going to give you longevity. It's going to make sure that you are strong enough, energetic enough to do all the things. It's going to protect your joints a lot better. So we aren't going to be falling and breaking hips and knees and all kinds of things. And so I would say, Janice, let's have that call and get you going, because the best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is to start today. Okay, let's take one more. Millicent says, I just need someone to help me. I'm here to help you. She wants to lose weight and feel better. And she says, how do I keep the weight off? And when does menopause ever stop? So I'll give you a quick lesson on menopause. Keeping it off is interesting because maintenance can sometimes be harder than the weight loss itself, because it's easier to lose weight when you have weight to lose. To then stay where you're at can be a little bit more tricky. And oftentimes throughout your journey, it takes different things to get from point A to B to C to D. And so you may have to change your approach. And that's something that I preach in my programming, is that we change things often. Number one, to keep the body guessing in both fitness and nutrition. So I teach 5 frameworks for nutrition. I have 7 or 8 strength training programs, and I'm always creating new ones. I have ones that I haven't even shown people before. And then the other reason why you want to change things up is to make it exciting, so that you want to stay in it and keep doing it. It's going to get boring if you don't change things up. When does menopause ever stop? So the answer to that question is, menopause is only one day in your entire life. So premenopause is that period where your hormones are starting to change, okay? But you may not realize it. You don't see any symptoms. You have not lost your monthly period. Everything's just kind of like, you're like, I'm seeing a little bit of change. And then perimenopause is that period where you start getting erratic in your cycle. So you may have less periods, you may have more periods, it may go away for months at a time, it may come back. But the day at which you have been 12 months exactly without your period, that is the day that you hit menopause. And your menstrual cycle pauses forever, okay? From that day out, you are post-menopausal. But the thing is that you are losing your estrogen and your progesterone as you're going through this transition are decreasing, because these are your reproductive hormones. They have a lot of role in your body, in our bodies as women. I mean, your entire life from when you start getting your cycle, you're going through this whole cycle every single month where your estrogen, your progesterone, your testosterone in relationship to each other are moving up and down. And so that's why we go through the range of emotions in a month. And so at the end of this, though, your progesterone, your estrogen have really decreased, and your testosterone in comparison has gone up. And so now that's where you're at forever. Now, some people will start to do hormone replacement therapy. So bringing those things back in, even though you don't need them, that's generally for management of symptoms. Some people do this before they even do the things that they could manage on their own, right? So if we brought our stress levels down, then we may not need HRT as much as if we are constantly stressed out, right? If our nutrition, our fitness are not in order, then we might look to HRT to fix it, and it may not do anything, right? And so, so you are going to have this body from here on out, and you're going to have these hormones from here on out. And so we need to understand postmenopausal what you need to be doing. And so that's a really great opportunity for you to do the menopausal metabolism reboot, where I have a whole masterclass where I discuss the stages and what's happening. And then I give you the protocol for how to manage and how to lose weight during this period, and what's also important for that longevity. So let's cut it off for today here. I hope this was insightful, and I hope that if you have not, that you will book a call with me and that we can take the next steps for you in this journey. It's only January 8th. We have forever to work on this stuff. But like I said, if you didn't start this yesterday or last week or last month or last year, what are you putting it off for? Let's just talk, and, at least you'll get a little fire lit under you. Okay? Have a wonderful day. I will see you soon. Bye.